Let me know if you can see and hear me. Uh, the the title of the live stream tonight is "The Shift to Precious Metals Mining Sector is Still in the Early Stages." We're gonna have Clive as usual, but we're also gonna have Francis Hunt again. We had him, I think, a couple of weeks ago. Last week we had Rafi Farber on, and yeah, I think uh, it's getting quite interesting. The precious metals mining sector. And yes, I think it's a huge opportunity, but there are also risks involved, and we're going to talk about that too. We need to make sure that yeah, that we understand that. And of course, this is not financial advice, but it's our opinion. Rudy's doing well. He's lying there. He was in the garden just a few minutes ago. It's a nice evening. Today, I'm not feeling great. I caught a bit of a cold yesterday. I didn't feel very well. I didn't even go play golf because it's probably better just to rest a little bit. Nick Greek, Mario come up a bit earlier. Yeah, I usually do when I start the live streams, just to say hello to everyone and yeah, make sure you ask as many questions as you can, and we'll try to see all the questions and answer them. Yeah, this is the time for it. GOG 3 uh, Tur says good evening from North Carolina. Eisenbody watching from Beaverton, Michigan. BCO collectors stack silver and gold and honey. Darren Smith is here. Nick Greek, Joe Z, Jerry Mandarin says be careful. Steve Michaels from Central Florida. Just an opinion, Mario Den from Canada. Love your content. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for, yeah, supporting the channel. Just AB Esquire. Good evening, Mario and Rudy. Greetings from the Scottish borders. Michael Kennedy, 7063. Hi, Michael. Mango George from Canada. Eric Bartone. Hi, Mario. Drink a lot of English tea. It makes me feel better. Yeah, I do like tea. I like coffee too. I drink both. Chris Conman, hi. Nice to see you. He says, hi, Mario and Rudy. Mark C. from Billericay in Essex. Be sure to talk about grade taking. Yeah, that's very important as well. That's why I said, you know, like for example, the my portfolio of miners is doing really well, my ISAs. And you have to wonder. I mean, I think it's still early doors, but you do need to take some profit and maybe take the profits out and buy maybe physical or buy something that you always wanted, something that you need. I think that's really important. The miners are different, in my opinion. They're very speculative. Of course, the more the junior exploration companies, not the majors. But yeah, we'll talk about that when Clive and Francis come on. You and Roberts from Preston says hi. Kroik, hi. Hi, Mary and Rudy from Holland. Graham Carnegie from Cornwall. All right, nice part of the world. We Yeah, we've been there a couple of times. Long time ago, though. Fallout 2511, please explain to the people that gold gains over time is like compound interest. Um, Yeah, I mean, gold has returned about 10% since the beginning of the century. So, yeah, the only difference is you don't get interest, but it is as good as getting a compound interest. So, if you put, let's say, 10,000 pounds into gold in 2002 here in the UK, at least, you have over 100,000 now in fiat currency. So, yeah, you might sell one of your coins and still have gold, but you'll get a lot more fiat from it. And the thing about gold is that, yeah, it's money. That's why it doesn't pay interest. Cash also, paper money doesn't pay interest unless you lend it, of course. Visual Gold, thank you for your super chat. What trading platforms in the UK would you use for mining stocks? Well, I have my ISAs with IG index, IG.com, but they don't provide you access to the junior miners in Canada. For that, we have an account with Interactive Brokers. You can get miners from anywhere there. Even though I prefer IG, I've got most of my holdings with IG. But if you want to trade the smaller junior exploration companies, it's Interactive Brokers. There's probably some other ones like Hargreaves and Lansdowne and people like that. So there you go. Jerry Mandarin, is 50% silver still good to stack? Um, yeah, of course it is. As long as it's got silver in it, doesn't matter if it's 50%. It's just going to be worth half the value, the coin itself, not the silver, half the value of a coin that's like 925, so to speak. Yeah, Chris Conman, the Morgan dollars are very nice. I have a few of those. Very nice coins. They're actually 0.72 of an ounce. They're not an ounce of gold, silver, excuse me. Mango George says, I got into Discovery Silver last spring watching Mario. It's been a great buy. Hi, Pablo Pina. Nice to see you here. Quadman 72 is here as well. Good evening, Quadman. Andrew Watson from Basingstoke. Silver Cobra says, hiss. Visual Ghoul says he'll try IG. Let's, Clive is coming on. Uh, okay. Hi, Clive.
Hello, good evening, Mario. Good evening to all your viewers.
Yeah, uh, nice to see you. And yeah, we're just saying hello. Some people have asked questions. There's one here, Endurama. What do you think about the rumors France is insolvent and will require IMF intervention? Well, I think most Western countries are insolvent. The only reason, yeah, they're still operating, I think, is that there's still a lot of liquidity in the banking system and the bond market's still holding. But yeah, it's very possible that France could be in trouble, but not just France, the UK. Yeah, yeah, the US, of course, is not going to call the IMF because the US Treasury runs the IMF. Their US is the only country that has a veto on the IMF board because they have, I think, Clive, over 17% of the shares. So that's the way it works. But have you read up a little bit on France, Clive, what's going on there or not?
Not, I've seen there's a lot of videos about it, but I haven't watched
Yeah,
any of them at the moment. But frankly, most of Europe, and maybe not Germany, but most of Europe is effectively bankrupt as individual countries. So it's only a
yeah,
question of time before one of
yeah,
them. And I don't know if they'll go to the IMF this time. They might go to the European Central Bank. And
yeah,
even though the European Central Bank is probably prohibited from lending any more than a certain amount, they'll probably end up doing so.
yeah. Um, yeah, what was I gonna say? I was looking at a question and I forgot now. Oh yeah, the other thing about countries going bankrupt, what was I gonna say? I forgot. Anyway, maybe I'll remember later. Someone's asking here, no name to anything on powder gold. Uh, I mean, I don't have any. I mean, I have like a gold little gold nugget that I bought many years ago on eBay from Australia. I think it's like 2 or 3 grams of gold. But usually powder gold is kind of gold that they get from mining, and then they add it all up, the mining operation, and then they send it to the smelter, and they make a bar out of it. I'm not sure. I don't have any powder gold. I don't think it's a good way to have gold.
I never owned any, but I did see at some point a few years ago that you could buy these little vials of powdered gold, which I guess you could put in food or something like that. And the other thing you can buy are what's called gold leaf, and it comes
Yeah,
in a little stack of paper with a leaf of gold, and it's absolutely
I have
wafer thin.
some.
It's so light that it blow around in the wind.
Yeah, I bought some years ago from an art shop. I've got it here. I've never really used it. You see here, this is gold leaf.
Yeah, and it's great fun. If you want, if you've
Like
got
you
some
can see it
object,
here. I don't want to open it. It's
no,
very
no,
light.
it'll blow away the wind.
Yeah.
Um, but it's great fun if you've got a coin or something and you want to make the coin look like it's real gold. You can just put the
Yeah.
paper leaf onto it.
So it says here, 22 carat gold. I guess it says sculptors, tools, materials, equipment. So there.
Yeah, they sculpt or they paste this onto some of the buildings or
Yeah.
statues somewhere. I don't know. I've seen it being done.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's see if there's more. Native American says I like big fat Krugs. Yeah, Krugerrands. Those were the first coins I bought in 2002 because back then, all the bullion coins that we have now, Britannias and the Eagles, they weren't around, and Krugerrands were still a vestige of the 70s and early 80s bull market. They're nice coins. They're really nice. That's what got me into gold. I bought some Krugerrands, and I still remember the price, Clive, per coin. It was 222 pounds and 25 pence. And I bought it from a jeweler in the city of London, who actually was a dealt in coins as well, which was nice.
I got mine at my first one at Shops Pixley in London. That would have been in the mid 70s or late 70s.
Yeah.
I don't remember the price now, but it wasn't as much as you paid, Mario.
Yeah.
I got
Somewhat
got it
Visual
cheaper.
Ghoul, thank you for your super chat. Any thoughts on DigiGold at the Royal Mint? I don't trust the Royal Mint. Uh, well, I trust the coins they mint, of course, but I wouldn't hold hold DigiGold with them. Yeah, I wouldn't get involved with DigiGold. Yeah, if you
I
want
just saw
if
some
you
balloons go by,
yeah, I
Mario.
know. I don't know who put the balloons there. Yeah, it's
How
weird.
did they get the balloons to go past
I
your
don't know.
video?
Maybe it's this some kind of AI stuff from Zoom, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't do anything. But yeah,
Oh,
so Visual Goal, yeah, if you're gonna deal with the mint, buy their coins and take delivery of the coins. But yeah, I wouldn't trust DigiGold. Excuse me, Clive, I've got a cold. Uh
I'm so sorry.
yeah, Chris Conlon.
I saw a question earlier. I
Yeah.
don't know if you actually answered it because I just saw it on my screen. It might have been from the same guy who was asking about where, and I've had a lot of people, large numbers of people ask me the same question, that everybody in the UK seems to be struggling to buy mining stocks in Canada or in Australia.
Yeah.
And it seems that many brokers in the UK won't let them deal.
Yeah, I mean IG, the I have ISAs with IG, excuse me, and I can't deal in Canada, the small companies, but Interactive Broker I can. I have an account with them. So you need to try the different brokers. Yeah. Chris Conman, thank you for your super chat. He's got a question for you, Clive. If silver goes up to 100, what average price increase would you expect to see from your top 50 silver miner list?
Oh, well, I can answer that quickly, Mario. Can I share my screen? Because I've got it right in front of me.
Sure,
And
hold on a second. Let me allow you to share here.
then we'll do it together.
Just
So I'll
another
just,
question here from Jake's Customs Part.
yes.
Thank you for your super chat. Uh, says from John Lord, his super chat isn't working. Thanks, Mario and Clive. Oh, you're welcome, and thanks, John Lord. Go ahead,
Okay,
Clive.
right. I think you can see, can you see the spreadsheet at the moment?
Yeah,
So at the top where my mouse is, I've got a price of $50 here,
yeah.
and it tells me the my targets of where these will get to. It's called the best estimate of possible share price in 27.28, based
Mm,
on a $50 target. But if I change the target to $100, you'll see the target prices of everything changes, just
yeah,
changed there. So looking down the top five or six, you can see they're broadly speaking going to give you 1,000% profit if
wow.
we get to $100 gold.
Oh my
That's
goodness. Yeah,
and by the way, I'm being very conservative here, Mario,
yeah,
because I'm assuming that the price earnings ratio is stuck at 10. Now, that's very unlikely if we're in a bull market for gold. It's likely
yeah,
the price earnings ratio to go to 25 maybe. So I put
yeah.
25 in here as a price earnings ratio, and you'll see the numbers now change. It's not 1,000%; it's 4,000%. You might expect on some of these.
Yeah, wow, that's quite amazing. I mean, one thing I want to talk about as well, Clive, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers portfolios of miners are starting to do well. And, it's been a long wait for this. But I still think, as I said on the title of the live stream, we're still in the early stages. But one thing we need to consider with the fragility, I think, of the whole fiat currency system, that will impact banks, that will impact brokers. Brokers, they usually keep surplus cash that you have with them with banks. So what I'm trying to say here, I'm not saying you should take profit now, but if you've done really well with a particular stock, yeah, maybe take a little bit off the table. Maybe buy a gold coin, or buy something that you always wanted, or pay off some debt. I'm not saying you should sell your physical gold and silver, but yeah, I think the miners are a good place to be, but you have to be aware of the counterparty risk. Clive, I don't know if you read the book, The Great Taking. It's a very interesting book. So I think it's something we should keep in mind. I mean, the proportion of what I have in terms of a miner is still relatively small compared to what I have in physical gold and silver, but it's getting bigger because the miners are outperforming bullion. And I'm going to bring up a chart here, Clive, that shows that. Where is it? And this is, I think, Michael Oliver. He first talked about this with me when I interviewed him like a month or so ago. So this is the Philadelphia Gold and Silver Index
Mhm.
versus the gold price, and you can see that up until like 2008. It traded in the mid 20s, even during the bear market in gold, which is quite amazing. But recently we dropped to like, 10 years ago, we dropped to like 0.04. And, uh, and even this year, Clive, we were only at 0.05. And now it looks like we're breaking out I think when I interviewed Michael Oliver, we're just trying to break out of this falling wedge, and now it's really taking off. So it's saying that the miners are starting to outperform gold. And if you look at it, we're at 0.07. I mean, we could go, four times. They could outperform bullion four times, and we'd still be here in the middle of this range. So I just thought I'd
Well,
show that.
get the gold and silver miners. I think August was the month when they started really moving up, powering
Yeah.
ahead of the gold price. I mean, what I noticed, even on the days when the gold price went down, the gold mining index, as measured by the GDX, for example, seemed to go up. So people were throwing money into the gold stocks, irrespective of what the gold price was doing.
Yeah.
And as you say, Barry, it is very much the beginning, in my opinion. I've got the feeling that most people haven't even started to look at this,
Yeah.
but there's this sort of tension building up, and you get the feeling they're getting ready to start going. Then everybody's going to try and run, and then there's going to be this race to buy the stocks, but nobody's selling them.
Greg O'Neill, thank you for your super chat. There's another, well, it's not a chart, but it's from In Gold We Trust. The guys from, I think they're in Liechtenstein or, yeah, Incrementum AG. This is what they posted today. Over the past year, investors have been pulling money out of GDX and GDXJ, even as gold mining stocks soar relentlessly. Looks like many are cashing in profits, doubting the rally will continue. They will regret it. Yeah, it's quite amazing, Clive. You see here the net flow is negative in GDX and GDXJ, which shows us that people still don't believe it. It's like they're climbing a wall of worry. If this chart was like up here, then we'd have to think there might be some profit taking. I thought this was quite interesting.
Well, I think that's all about to turn around. And I think, the 31st of August, or the last, that wasn't the 31st of August, 27th, 28th of August, last day of August. I think that was the day we saw quite a jump in the gold and silver miners. And in my opinion, it's now going to start powering ahead and people will be putting money back into the GDX.
Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow, of course, is a
Bank holiday.
holiday in the US and Canada, I think, Labor Day. So we're gonna have to wait till Tuesday to see what the miners do.
Australia will be open.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have some stuff there, don't you, Clive?
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of good gold
It's a
miners in
bit
Australia.
tricky trade if you well, I've had stocks in Australia, but it's a bit weird because you're asleep while most of the time.
Well, I mean, don't forget London is open, and you'll find some gold and silver miners in London if you look around, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Fresnillo, for example. Fresnillo. I don't know how they pronounce it.
Yeah. I don't Francis is running late. I don't know if you forgot. He
And
said
then,
he
oh,
would
there's
be
another one
coming.
in London you could buy, which is a gold miner or silver miner, Hochschild Mining.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of miners in London. There
Yeah,
used to be a good one called Peter Hambro, which they used to mine in Russia. Then they were bought out, and they were called Pavlovsk, like a Russian name. I tried to buy some in 2022, but they stopped people from buying Russian companies. Quadman 72, Ronnie Stofferly would be a nice guest to a live stream. Yeah, maybe I should try to get in touch with him. Mario Clive, keep up the great content. Thank you. Gold is a hold at best now. John D. I don't agree that gold is a hold because fiat is not a hold. So if fiat currencies are going to continue to go down, the biggest risk is holding fiat. So
he spelt it wrong, Barrio. He meant to say HODL, huddle,
yeah, I guess
hold on
so.
for dear life.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. Uh, Robert, thank you for your super chat. How much more risky is GDX state than GDX? GDX seems like a much safer bet. I'll answer first and then you can answer, Clive. Well, GDXJ is the junior exploration. mostly junior miners. So they're still like in the process of trying to find gold or silver, or in this case, really silver. I think it was no, it was Rick Rule who said that the majority of these exploration companies they fail. So that's why it's riskier. GDX, they're proven producers of gold. Clive, have you got anything to add?
Yes, there's two things to say. One is what Rick Rule said, or what you just said. The GDXJ, which is the junior miners, is full to the brim of tiny little companies who've got holes in the ground, and most of them are going to end up absolutely worthless. But there will be a small number who are going to do 100x,
Yeah,
but you don't know which ones they'll be
yeah,
because they're the lucky few who happen to find the gold and this is even more important, get the money to dig it out because it takes
yeah,
hundreds of millions to start digging. And if you look at the companies in this GDXJ, you'll find that many of them are like mom and pop, husband and wife operations. They've got two employees, and the two employees are living off the investors' money.
mm,
But
yeah,
that's the first thing to say. But the second thing to say is we have a rising tide, and money is going to flow into this because people will think, and they're right, that the smaller miners are much more leveraged than the large miners, and therefore there'll be a huge amount of buying going into the GDXJ, forcing the price of all these stocks higher. Just as what's happening on Wall Street with the technology stocks, they're going higher because people are buying the
yeah,
S&P 500 ETF or the Nasdaq ETF, and it's causing everything to rise. The same thing will be happening with the junior miners, and because more money will be heading in, or probably more money is a smaller, well, it's big money, it's a smaller sector, because a lot of money will be going in that sector, it should rise faster than the GDX. So I think the game to play at the moment is the GDXJ, despite the fact I don't like what's in it. But
yeah,
at some point, you want to be flipping over to the
yeah.
more the bigger miners in the GDX.
Clive, I usually don't do this, but there is a company that I've been following closely with some friends, and and I'm gonna put it on the chat now. It's Banyan Gold, and it's one of these junior exploration companies, and it's done really well already, but I think it can do a lot better.
It's one of the biggest rises on Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and so I still have them. So this is not, I'm not telling you guys to buy it, but this is one that I like, and I still have it. So, and I'm doing quite well from it. We've got Ounces app. Thank you for your super chat. Has Trump's 10% stake in Intel and Lutnick's comment about stakes in other companies pose a nationalization risk for miners in Western countries? Uh, I don't, yeah, I guess, well, taking a 10% stake is not really nationalizing it. So I guess it would. I speculated on X a week or so ago. Would Trump try to buy a stake in Newmont or Barrick because they're American miners? It's possible, and I don't think it's a great idea. Trump seems to like dislike socialism and communism, but he's trying to become more social. You know, he's taking stakes in company, trying to beat socialism. It doesn't make any sense at all. I think I saw that a tweet from Babylon B about that. It was a joke. What do you think, Clive?
Well, I think it's interesting that they're going to take stakes in big companies. The question is which company next. I don't think they're going for a gold mining company, but the reason they've gone for Intel is because Intel they want to develop America's capability. Intel basically said, "We'll do it for you, but we need the cash." Because we've
Yeah.
got to hire a lot of people, it's going to cost a lot of money. So unless Intel actually produces something, they're going to have to give the money back at the end of the day.
So this is what the Babylon B. It's a joke kind of you know, Twitter account. They've got 5 million followers almost. Trump vows to nationalize as many private as it takes to defeat socialism. I thought that was good. So,
Nationalizer. That is communism all over.
yeah. So, there's this chart here as well. I think it's the chart that I put on the thumbnail for the live stream, Clive. and this is the GDX to Nasdaq 100
Yeah.
ratio, and yeah, this looks quite like quite a sharp breakout,
Is that a
and
weekly chart, Mario? What period of,
a
is it a
monthly,
quarter?
monthly,
It's monthly. Okay.
yeah. So I think
That's,
I've taken out the years underneath here. So
so what we can see here, Mario, is that at least in the last month, and I did say August was the month.
yeah,
In August, we've seen more people, or I won't say more people, but we've seen more upwards movement in the gold miners than we've seen in Nasdaq. So the balance of where the money's going is shifting.
yeah. And the other thing, Clive, like you said earlier, I think, and I've been noticing because I've been following this for years, and in the past, every time gold and silver got hit quite hard, the miners would go down 4 or 5 times, in terms of percentage. And recently, they hardly ever budged. If anything, sometimes they went up.
Well, that last month was a classic case. Gold
Yeah,
would go down some days, and the miners still went up.
yeah. What else have we got here? Tomorrow, Clive gave us two Australian gold miners last week. How do I buy shares from the UK? Where are you? Old Gaffers. I'm not sure where he is. Oh, I think
Oh, you say how do I buy
Interactive
shares from
Brokers,
you?
yeah,
Yes,
Interactive
exactly.
Brokers is I mean, I have an account with Interactive Brokers, and they are an American company, but I have an account here in the UK. So I think, yeah, Interactive Brokers, you can buy shares also in Canada. So that's
I'm getting a lot of questions related to the Great Taking. A lot of people would like to get their hands on physical share certificates, and I have no idea how to do that, Mario.
yeah, I don't think that my brokers provide that. And the problem with that is you take delivery of shares. If you want to sell the stock, you have to send it back. You can't, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, everything now is electronic. It's not like it used to be in the old
You, you,
days.
you know, when I was working in the 1970s, we were in a trust department. We had a safe with all the share certificates in, and once a year you'd go to the safe, write down all the share certificates, write in a letter, and then write to a broker. For a review, and he'd write back and say, "I think you should sell this and sell that." And then you'd write back to him, "Please sell it." And then he would send you a stock. He would send you a contract note and a stock transfer form. You would sign the stock transfer form, send the shares back to the broker, and then he would then send you, after the settlement period, which was I think a couple of weeks back then, he would then send you the money. And if you wanted to buy a share, the whole process worked in reverse. It was a very long and tedious process compared with today, when you just press a button and it's done.
Yeah. So this is a chart a lot of people have been looking at, because we had been consolidating since April in gold, and now it's finally broken out of this triangle. It tried here like a few weeks ago, and it failed. But this is really definitively broken out. And this is the highest closing on a weekly, daily, I think, as well, and monthly basis for gold. So it's pretty significant. You never
Actually,
know with gold, though, do you, precious metal? But I think this time around it could be for real, the continuation.
I sent you a rather colourful chart a few hours ago, Marion. Perhaps you didn't see it, which was basically it's interesting. You've drawn exactly almost the same thing
Yeah, yeah, it's the same
as
chart.
mine.
Yeah, and there's another one here. I think this is the same. This is gold, but it's monthly, and this one seems to have broken out as well. The monthly chart.
And you'll see if you look at the silver chart, it's also breaking out.
Yeah, that's the silver. This is monthly, so 2011. I think silver is only closed here on a monthly basis. Like there's only 2 to 3 other months in the past forever that silver's closed here. So this is very encouraging as well.
It really feels like we're in the middle of a breakout point. I mean, we've had a sideways movement for gold and silver now for since last May.
Yeah,
It's been up and down, but it's been literally it's been sideways. And suddenly on 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 Friday, well, I'm not
yeah,
sure yet, but it looks like we're breaking out. And if you look at Pax Gold, which is the one which trades 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year,
yeah.
it's up about $30 as I speak.
Let's see, Pax Gold.
Yeah, that's a crypto. It's obviously it's exchangeable into gold one for one.
Yeah, well, it says 3464. So
You're looking at look at there's several versions of it. You look on the different exchanges. Let me just bring one
which one
up.
are you looking at? Pax Silver
Uh,
or?
Pax Gold. I don't think it was a Pax Silver.
Well, I
Um,
think gold
Let me just
closed
bring it
at
up.
3450 or
Yeah,
thereabouts
that's
on
right.
Friday.
Yeah,
So it looks like it's about up about $15. But Pax Gold, I don't think is a great indication of where gold.
no, it usually trades when gold is open, it trades very close to
Yeah.
the gold price.
And this is
Um,
Clive, this is a chart of silver going back to the 70s.
Yeah, I've got 3481 for Pax Gold on my
Oh,
screen.
okay. I think this is the famous teacup and handle for silver and the teacup formation. I first heard of it back in like '04. There's a big teacup in gold from the mid 90s to 2003, and Jim Sinclair said, "Oh, this is really bullish." And yeah, it was. We broke $430 and gold went almost straight up to like 600, 700, eventually went to 1,000. But this teacup has been forming for like, I mean, almost 50, well, more than 50 years, or yeah, 45 years. And I think what it says is that there's a huge pressure. It's like a pressure cooker almost, and when it blows through the top of the teacup, and we've blown through the handle already, it could get really explosive, silver. I think that's why the silver miners as well, I think, are even more interesting than the gold miners, even though I have both.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Mario. I think anybody who's thinking of getting into either the physical metals or the mining stocks, they should hurry up because
Yeah,
it won't be too late in a month's time, but the prices will be higher, probably.
yeah.
And that's not investment advice, it's my opinion.
Yeah, so let's see here. Echo, thank you for your super chat. Thanks for all the research on miners from both of you. As an aside, do you think Labour in the UK will remove the 25% tax-free lump sum from pensions? I don't think they're going to remove that 25%. I think what they might do is because there's a limit of 268,000 that and for those of people who don't know, in the UK, if you have a private pension and once you turn 55, you can take 25% of your pension tax free. Uh, so, and I think the up to like 268,000 pounds. So if you take more than 268,000, you have to pay tax on that. You pay the tax that whatever income tax you pay, that's what you pay. But I've heard Echo that they might take that allowance down to even 40,000. There's a guy that was hired, he's an MP called Torsten Bell. He's a real lefty. He's helping supposedly Rachel Reeves with the budget. And he's written before for the Resolution Trust Foundation or something like that, that they should lower it down to 40,000. So what that would mean is that you can take 25% off, but you can only up to 40,000. So everything above that is taxable as income. And that's what they do, Clive. Governments, they give you all these, like, because when you pay into a private pension, if you're a higher rate taxpayer, you get like a kicker. Like if you put, let's say, 60 pounds, it's the equivalent of 100. But then when you want to take the money out and retire, they will tax you on it. So it's just like a scam, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the government's they've run out of money. They're looking around for places to take it off you.
Yeah.
And for all I know, next year they're going to tax windows or something silly as they used to do in the
Oh,
Middle
the
Ages.
window tax. Yeah, and we can still see the we can still see houses, the old Georgian houses where the windows are bricked up all around. It's funny. Maybe they will bring it back. Chris Conman, thank you for your super chat. If the UK gilt market blows up, would the contagion spread? What would the US do to mute it? Thanks. I think it would spread, and I think all especially the longer end, the 30-year gilt yield is at the highest level since 1998. The Japanese 30-year gilt is at all-time highs, only because they didn't trade it, they didn't issue it until the late 90s, but it's still, it used to be negative, the yield. Now it's like 3.2. The US 30 year is only a stone throws away, Clive, from the high it made since we've seen the bear market in bonds, which is the yield is around 5.12. So we're like just below five. What would the US do to mute it? Well, they could start QE again, but yeah, that would put a rocket up the precious metals and everything else, I think.
I
Clive.
think the day the precious metals go vertical will be the day that people start to there's a wobble in either the US Treasury market, but it could be also the UK gilt market. We've had that Liz Truss moment a few years ago, and it's going to come back again, I think, in the UK, and I think we're just on the cusp of it happening in the United States. So, I think two things. One, if we have a wobble in the Treasury market, even though higher yields normally would be bad for gold, I think this time around it will be good for gold because people will be pulling out of the treasuries and looking for somewhere safer to go, and they will go to gold. And the other thing which I think would be turn gold, but more slowly vertical, but it will still be going vertical, is the if we have a long pause in the bull market on Nasdaq, where we've still got this wall of money going to Nasdaq, and the prices at Nasdaq and tech stocks and the US S&P 500 in general. But if that starts to pause, and we don't know, on Friday it was down a bit, so who knows? But if it starts to pause and it stays in pause for maybe a few months, I don't know, 2 months, six
Yeah.
months, then people are going to start pulling the money out of that index and looking for other things to buy. And I think gold will be the place they'll be going.
Yeah, someone said here the 25% thing is misunderstood. On any amount you take out your private pension, you aren't taxed on 25% of the drawdown. Well, there is a limit, just AB. I've looked into it and it's 268,000. So yeah, you can take as much as you want out tax-free, as long as that 25% is less than 268,000. I think that's what it is. I might be wrong. You could be right, but I think there is a limit, unfortunately. Mark with a K25 2055. Any thoughts on silver futures for the coming months? Well, silver futures are just like a silver, but on the futures market. But what I've read, and I listened to an interview on King World News, I think is Egon von Greyerz, and I think there are other analysts out there saying that it's really hard to get physical silver right now. I think Egon von Greyerz said he can't source physical silver for his clients in Switzerland, and they are big clients, Clive, not small retail. And I got an email from a dealer in the UK the other day offering to pay 6% over spot for most of the one ounce bullion silver coins. So that to me means that he can't source the silver. So I think the futures market is really on Comex. It's not really a physical market. It's a paper market, but I think that's a problem. And we could see the futures market lead the market's higher. And apparently, Clive, as well, on Friday, it looks like open interest in silver went down, which is really the silver futures, which is unusual because the market was going up. So the reason open interest went down is that people were covering their shorts. So it looks like there's a short squeeze. And it could, so the silver market could be driven by the futures market anyway.
Well, can I just put up a
Yeah.
little chart again for you, Barry? I've got something quite interesting
Yeah.
here to share
Go
with you.
ahead.
Let me just look here. There it is. Share. What you're looking at here, Mario? You can see the chart that says Comex delivery notices. Are you on the right page?
Yeah.
Um, so what you're looking at is the amount of gold which has been called for delivery this year
Yeah.
in 2025 is significantly higher than the amount of gold which has been called for delivery in 2024. That's the figures on the left-hand side of the sheet.
Yeah.
So you see the two columns. So these are 100-ounce bars. We're talking about $350,000 a bar, roughly. So it's not mom and pop saying, I'll buy a trinket of gold here or there. This is some big, big buyers. We don't know who it is, but whoever it is, they bought more bars up until the end of August and the beginning of September, the first day of September, which hasn't even started yet, but they've been called for delivery. They bought more bars of gold than the whole of last year, or when I say bought, they've taken delivery of it. And this is unusual. So these bars are going into the hands of somebody or some firm who's very, very wealthy, must be very well connected, must be very knowledgeable. They have access to the greatest economic information on the planet. And we don't have to know what they know, but they certainly
Yeah.
know something. And if you have any sense, you'll follow the money.
Well,
And then
there was, sorry, Clive, there is one thing I need to say about the Comex terminology is that taking delivery actually doesn't mean that you take the silver out of the Comex vaults. That happens when you withdraw the silver, and that will be a lot more serious. And that's something we need to keep an eye on because when you take delivery, let's say account A or counterparty A takes delivery, it comes from counterparty B, but the silver stays in the Comex vaults. There is no like withdrawal from the vault. But withdrawal is really important as well. But I agree with you that that is that. I mean, look at May, nine, almost 10 times more. And the same
yeah.
thing for silver, like you, not as much for silver, I
Well, what's
guess.
interesting is September silver, which is they've just called that or the first people are calling for delivery for the 1st of September. There's more calling for delivery of their silver bars on the 1st of September than the whole of September 2024.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So the,
8,286. And September, I mean, September is still just beginning, is just going to
well,
begin.
it starts tomorrow. So they're
Yeah,
just
well, it
this is the
starts
deliveries for the first of
second, I guess, because tomorrow's
second. I
the
guess the second,
holiday.
yes.
But that's just for one day. It could turn out to be 25,000. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but
Yeah.
I think what this is signaling is a lot of people, and you're saying, Mario, the silver and gold does stay in Comex. I mean, it can or it cannot. It depends on the buyer's
Yeah.
intentions. Of
Yeah.
course, he could leave it there, but they're equally free to say, "I'll have my
Oh
gold
yeah. Yeah,
and I'll
yeah.
put it in my vault, please."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we don't. I don't actually know what's happening to the gold behind the scenes. But what I
Yeah.
do see is that normally when these contracts get rolled over, instead of rolling them over,
Yeah,
people are
they're not
saying,
rolling
"Deli
over. Yeah. Rolling
please
over.
deliver."
Rolling over, for those of you who don't know, is just like let's say you're along the September silver. Instead of taking and then you just sell the contract and buy the December. You roll, you sell the contract you have and you buy the other one. And I remember I worked as a futures broker, Clive, and clients at towards the end of you know the the term for the futures, they used to come, where's the set deck spread? So you would quote them, and then if he sold the spread, it meant that he was long. So you sold the month that you had, you bought the far out month. So yeah, and very rarely did people ever take delivery. And I dealt mostly 95% in bonds, but sometimes we dealt in gold and silver. And I did ask my boss once because we had a big client and he was trading a lot of silver, and I tried to get him to take delivery, but my boss said no, no way, don't even think about it. So brokers don't encourage people to take delivery. James Brannick, thank you for your super chat. Says Mario, thank you so much for all your efforts in educating people about our financial system. I consider myself blessed. Also, Clive's analysis is ace. Thank you, James.
Thank you very much. It's lovely comments.
Yeah. Um, what else?
Sell
Grandpa,
wife buy silver. Did you
what's
see that
that?
one?
Self,
Jock Mahon says, sell wife buy silla, silver.
self buy silver. Someone said here they're gonna buy a new car for a few ounces of silver. Well, you never know. Um, and Clive, did you know that the new Fang, the Fang stocks, the new one
Hmm.
is Bang. It's Barrick, Agnico, Newmont,
Newmont,
and Goldfields.
excellent.
Bang, the Bang stock.
Let's buy. Oh, that's got to fly, Mario. Let's buy the bang stocks.
Uh,
Hey, everybody! Oh, everybody's watching this. Tell all your friends to buy the bang stocks. And when they ask you what they are, you can tell them that it's Barrick, Agnico, Newmont,
yeah,
and
someone saying here
Gold.
Francis ran out of energy in his electric bike. Yeah, I've seen him ride that bike in Cyprus. I don't know if he might, maybe he forgot about the live stream, but
Or maybe the internet's down where he is.
yeah. Uh, Daria creates, Mario likes to mix it up. Something he is on right now. Sometimes he's on the left of the screen, Mario letting loose and being a party animal. No, I'm not on anything. I just have a bad cold. I got it last night, and I'm drinking instant coffee. So there you go. Alan Satoshi says ET Newmont, Frank FSM is what's that stock? I forgot.
FSM, I'll look it up.
Franco Nevada? No, it's not Franco Nevada.
Uh,
Pan American Silver, uh,
I'm just going
First
through it.
Majestic, and is that B2 Gold, BTG? Yeah.
I don't find FSM immediately. No, I can't tell you what FSM is. Maybe that's
Anglo American. Do you know a little bit about Anglo American?
yes.
I held that stock back in the 2000s. It did quite well when I built a mining portfolio.
Uh,
It's more
I
balanced,
u-
isn't it?
I used to hold it. I think I have sold it. Um, Look, it's a very good company. It's a very large company. It's just not going anywhere at the moment. Um, there's also what it used to be called Anglo American Silver. It's now called not Veleta. I forgot the name. Begins with a V.
Hmm. V.
No, no, Anglo American Platinum. I'm thinking of yes. What's it
All
called?
right.
It's called Valterra now.
Oh, okay. Deutsche Podcast Mitali. Greetings from Germany. Love your show. Do you remember? Thank you. Do you remember a company called Lonro?
Oh yes, Tiny Roland.
I bought some stocks, some shares
Yeah,
in that.
I used to be a shareholder in Lonro many decades ago.
London Rhodesian is a Tiny Rollins was the
Yes, yeah, Tiny Roland, and I don't know what happened to him or what happened to Lonro.
yeah. FSM is actually Fortuna Mining.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I've got. Well, I had a symbol for Fortuna Mining of FVI. I don't know why.
yeah. McEwen, I think it was McEwen Mining. You told me about that one, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So you,
the other way to research aside from getting Clive's list is going on GDX, GDXJ, and looking at their holdings and doing the research yourself, and
I,
instead of buying the ETF.
Maybe if I could spend 30 seconds, Mario, to explain to your viewers how they could do the research themselves and get it
Yeah.
right. Um, you need to know, basically, you need to know three things. You need to know how much gold the mining company is going to get out of the ground this year, next year, the year after, in
Mm.
terms of ounces. You need to know what the cost of getting it out of the ground is. That's called the all-in sustaining cost, or
Oh yeah.
AISC. And the
AISC, yeah.
and the third thing you need to know is what their other expenses are. So other expenses are things like taxation, marketing, and of course prospecting, because they're still looking for gold always. So what you do, you take the gold price or the silver price that you expect to be in the future. Let's say you're going for $100 silver or $50 silver or $100, 4,000 gold. You take the price you expect the metal to be in the future, deduct from that the all-in sustaining cost that you think that will be incurred in 3 or 4 years' time. So you have to add some inflation. That the net result, you multiply the net result by the number of ounces of gold or silver that you're going to get out of the ground in 4 or 5 years' time.
And that's the
That
earnings for the
that's their gross earnings. You deduct
okay.
from the gross earnings their other expenses. That's the taxation, prospecting, and things like
Interest
that. All the other expenses
payment.
they got.
Yeah.
And then you've got the net earnings. Then you divide the net earnings by the number of shares they've got, and then you get the earnings per share. And now you take the earnings per share and you multiply it by whatever you think the price earnings ratio will be
Oh, all
in
right.
that future year. Let's say you think it's going to be 10, you multiply it by 10. If you think it's going to be 25, you multiply it by 25, and you get to your future share price.
Mm. Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's good to know. Makes sense. I mean, um, I've got a chart here, Clive. I want to maybe for more of my UK viewers, and I'm in the UK as well. You might be interested, Clive, but it's not just gold taking off against the dollar. It's taking off against all currencies, really. This is the in pounds, so XAU GBP, and we had the same kind of little triangle. It's a monthly chart, and we've broken out of that, and so we closed at 25.53, and I think the high here in April was 2600.
So,
So
Mary, I think you and I spoke for the first time in late 2022. Where's that on your chart? I
it was
can't.
about yeah below just below 1350.
Well, yes, for the British investors, they've done very, very well, haven't they? If they listen
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
well, they've been listening to you for longer.
and I started this channel back here, and it was around below 800, and I was talking about gold then. It's weird that I started just when gold bottomed. I mean, I didn't know it was gonna bottom, but it's kind of strange. But you see that's a really bullish thing here. It's because usually, Clive, this has gone up, and this was like a consolidation, really. But it's a rising wedge. A rising wedge is usually in the bearish market, but when it's in the bullish market, that's really bullish. That's why I think. But you have to be patient because this has taken, it's taken quite a long time because it topped here just above. I think it was 1095 in 2011. That was the high, and then it took. I mean, it took quite a few years, 8 years, for it to regain that level, but now it's really taking off. So I think that's the other important thing, Clive, is being patient and maybe also doing dollar cost averaging because if you only buy when it is going up, then it goes down and you get discouraged, then you stop buying. But so that's just try to buy whenever you
So,
can.
so there's two tips for people who are buying or selling, and this works really, really well. When you're buying, only buy one third of what you would like to buy. So I know people, when they're excited about a stock, they want to rush and put all their money in. But if you buy one third, you're keeping two-thirds in reserve, and then if the stock goes down, you can make a decision whether it went down because of some bad news or because it went down for no reason at all, in which case you could get your next one third. If, on the other hand, it goes up, that's proof that your decision was good. and then you can add the next one third. When you've added the next one third, you basically can't lose money because you've got now two thirds at an average price halfway between the two. So you're already in the money. You're starting to feel good about it, which means that you either wait for the price to go up even further, in which case you never need to spend the remaining one third of the money,
Yeah.
and therefore you've got money to spend on something else, or you could at some point, if it doesn't keep going up, you could buy that remaining third, knowing once again you're not actually losing money because the first purchase was below today's price. And
Yeah.
likewise, when you're selling, if you're selling something at a profit, never sell the entire position. Sell part of the position, top slice it or whatever you like, but
Yeah.
always keep some of the position in your portfolio because if you sell all of it, eventually you're going to get into the mentality of selling your profitable stocks and you end up with just a portfolio of losers. And
Yeah.
from a mindset point of view, it's much better to have a portfolio of winners. So yes, no harm in selling the winners, but don't sell them all. Keep some of it as a memory so you can show your accountant, show your banker, show your friends, show your
Yeah.
wife, whatever, and it looks much better.
Robert 292, thank you for your super chat. Oil impact on mining costs. What are the odds gold outpaces oil as these prices rise? Thanks. Well, as Clive was speaking, I've brought up a chart. It's a gold versus crude oil ratio, and gold has been outperforming oil quite substantially. And the problem with this chart is if I go further back, it's like this is when oil went negative. So that's why it's like this. So, but if we go like this, since 2022, 1 ounce of gold used to only get you like 15 barrels of oil. Now it gets you 53. So, gold looks quite bullish versus oil. So I personally think the cost of mining in terms of the energy might not be, it's not going to be it's not going to be a headwind, I think, for mining costs. What do you think, Clive?
I don't think that the mining cost is a headwind for mining. I mean, if the cost of mining goes up and some miners go out of business because of that, then it's just bullish for those who are left in the business.
Yeah,
This is why when you're buying gold mining stocks, or you've got to have a mixture of those ones which have got quite high all-in sustaining costs, and also those which have got very low. So if the price goes down or if the costs go up, some of them will potentially go out of business. But the ones which have got a very low cost of mining will stay in business. So
yeah.
I don't think I don't. Rising cost of mining is not a bad thing for the gold price, not at all.
No, and yeah, and there are other things that could impact the cost as well, though, but political, who knows, and also like in other countries, like more third world countries or less developed countries, you could have unions trying to get people to earn more, raise their salaries, and you could have nationalizations from other countries, even in the US, I guess now. But anyway, F. Kavija, thank you for your super chat. He says, thank you, Mario and Clive, for all your thoughtful analysis. I'm looking forward to the full precious metals bull run to unfold. Yeah, I mean, I think, Clive, this is going to be something we've never experienced before, not even maybe in the
It's
70s
a
and
what,
80s.
Mario? It's a once in a lifetime opportunity right now.
Yeah, but also I think this is more than just a bull market. It's a bear market in the currencies. I think the fiat currencies are in deep trouble.
Mm.
And like you said, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And be sure, that's what I'm doing. Be sure to have a balance between physical and miners because one can get greedy with the miners and they're not like gold and silver. They're different. There are a
Yeah,
lot of factors, right, Clive?
absolutely. You know,
Yeah,
you've got to have the physical as well,
yeah,
and then it's down to each individual to say how much do I need the
yeah,
physical, how much do I put in a custodian, and how much do I have in the mining stock. So they're three different things.
yeah. Carlos Garcia says, Hi, Maneco64 and at Clive. Maybe it looks like they invented the digital gold Bitcoin. easy to create a code, uh, add value to cash out when you sell it 110,000 woo. I'm not sure what you mean. Do you understand that, Clive?
Well, obviously 110,000 does correspond to the Bitcoin price,
Yeah, I
but
think he's talking
I'm not
about
sure.
Bitcoin, but I don't think Bitcoin is digital gold. I
No,
mean, there's
not, no,
no,
well, it's a, yeah, it's a different thing. I mean,
yeah,
again, you've got to have a bit of everything, Mario.
yeah.
You can't just be invested in gold. So I wouldn't put very much in Bitcoin, but I think you shouldn't have zero. And I think same thing with equities. You have to
Mm.
have some equities. You have to have some property. If you've got enough money to buy all these things, you should have all of them.
Uh, T Fratello, does PSLV count as physical? Yeah, I mean that's the Sprott physical Sprott ETF. I think they're good. What's happened this year is that if you buy a PSLV, the trust that runs it is supposed to buy the corresponding amount of physical. But what the bullion banks are doing is they're borrowing the PSLV shares and going short in order to neutralize the amount of silver that the PSLV had to buy. So that's the only problem. I don't think that the Sprott physical, Sprott ETF is a bad instrument. It's just that people were manipulating it to keep the trust from buying more silver. I mean, yeah, silver is bulky for now. So yeah, it's more convenient to buy an ETF than buy 5,000 ounce bars or monster boxes. But I prefer the physical. But I think that's why the miners are interesting, isn't it, Clive? Because if you want to don't be hindered by having too much physical, you go with the miners, but there's the risk as well, counterparty risk with the brokers. So it's all a matter of weighing the probabilities and how much risk you want to take.
I know a lot of people absolutely hate the shorts. They think they should be banned. They think they're driving the share prices down, which is true. But I don't see any worries about that because sooner or later, the shorts have to cover. It's not, I mean, they can try and keep rolling their short for a long, long time, maybe many, even years. But at the end of the day, they have to cover. Or at least if the thing that they have shorted is a good thing, that would be gold, that'd be silver, it'd be silver miners, whatever you like. If it's a good thing, they will have to cover. And when they cover, that pushes the price up to the benefit of everybody else. And I think that's what we might be actually seeing right now with the gold and silver. That we might have some of the shorts saying, I can't handle this anymore. And they're starting to be forced to buy back their short positions.
Yeah, the only caveat with that, Clive, and I agree with you mostly, is that the regulators usually they work for the big banks actually, so they can kill the shorts like they did, not kill the shorts, but they can help the shorts like they did with the Hunt brothers, right?
Yeah,
That's but the thing is if there's a lot of people buying, not just like the Hunt brothers, then it's going to be very difficult for them to do anything about it.
I mean, it's always been my opinion that the exchanges help the shorts. And the reason they help the shorts is because the shorts provide the liquidity for other people to buy. So if I want to buy some shares, if there's there's no sellers there will be a short who's willing to sell them to me. The shorts are there, helping people buy shares. I mean, I'm going to say
Yeah,
at a better price because the more people you've got buying and selling, the narrower the spread between the bid and ask
yeah,
prices. So at the end of the day, you know, as a buyer, having shorts in the market already is a good thing for me because I get the stuff which
yeah.
I might have to pay more for. But the exchange, if there's a problem, they will always protect the shorts. They get rid of the longs. They don't care about the longs because the longs will come back whatever happens.
Yeah.
But the shorts are rarefied air. And that's the ones they need to keep sweet.
Stephen Montplaisir, thank you for your super chat. I like to shove it all in once. I have put my pants on both legs at once. You either have conviction or you don't. I think that's in response to the one third. strategy that you're talking.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, what that,
we're,
yeah.
we're all guilty of being
Whatever
of
floats your
saying,
boat. I'm more
yeah,
like you, Steve, but what I was when with the shares and stuff, I don't like if I want to buy a new one, I'm not gonna buy a third today and then I just buy it because I'm not really a day trader. I'm more of a long-term guy, so I don't care if I buy it for, 70 or 71 or 70, I try to work it a bit, but yeah.
well, I would say that I'm guilty with respect to the gold miners because and the reason is because I can see something's happening here.
Yeah,
So I'm guilty of saying I'll take the full position. But for
yeah,
most things I buy, I typically start with a third and then see how it goes.
yeah. Ounces app, thank you for your super chat. I will have some updates coming to the free version of the app. I think everyone will appreciate. I hope to have it released sometime this week. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Ounces app, it's on iOS, I think, Apple, and basically you can put the amount of gold, silver, platinum, palladium that you have physical, and it keeps track of the value of your holdings in different currencies. So if you're in Canada, you can put it to Canadian dollars. In Switzerland, Swiss francs. It's a really good app. I have it, and it's a great little app. William PMCD says, "What are some simple basics for orderly daily operation via metals, 10 times bull run?"
Mhm.
Do you mean like what do you do when we're in a huge bull run and the markets are moving every day? I'm not sure. Do you understand that question, Clive?
No, I don't get the question. Yeah, I'm just looking for the question. Who was it who wrote it?
Uh, William PMCD, he put
Okay.
I think he put my at Monaco 64. It's just after Ounces app.
Okay, yeah. I see it now. What are some simple basics for orderly daily operation via metals 10x bull run? Oh, I guess he's saying, how do you trade it if we looking at 10x prices? Well, at the end of the
Yeah,
day, if it goes up that much, um, first of all, I think it will go up that much. If you're talking about the miners, especially, maybe the gold price a bit less. But if you're having that sort of bull run, you want to be at some point saying, if I take money out of gold or out of the miners, what am I going to do with the money I take out? So if all you're going to do is put it back into something which is declining in value, specifically fiat money, then you leave it where it is. So you've got to
yeah,
have, it depends what you're going to do. If you have a better idea, then it
yeah.
does make sense to reallocate.
Can I say one thing as well about the more explosive this bull market becomes? Um, you have to consider the risks, and I don't think you need to leverage in precious metals. So, and I also think it's really dangerous unless you're a professional hedge fund trader to trade short term because you could end up ruining yourself even though you're bullish in the precious metals by trading these markets with leverage and very short term. So that's the way I see it. And Durarama, thank you for your super chat. Hello, Mario and Clive. Any speculation on the gold silver ratio for the next 6 months? Given bond market issues, squeeze, possible AU revaluation, etc. Yeah, so what do you think of the gold silver ratio in the next 6 months? Where
I
is it?
think that
Around 86 right now? I'm not sure.
yeah, that's kind of what I had in my head, but I
Yeah,
haven't looked at
yeah,
maybe it's a bit better than that. Maybe it's about 85 because silver's been performing better than gold.
yeah,
I think that silver will continue to outperform gold, and therefore we probably get to 50 in the next 2 or 3 years.
oh, the gold silver ratio, yeah. I mean, and then there's the level at 31, which was the low in 2011, and then the 15 to 1. But yeah,
Mhm.
50 is, I think 80, Clive, used to be a resistance a few years ago. So that's the next big support there, I think. Stephen Young, thank you for your super chat. Clive, I guess it's time. I would stay on a bit longer, but I'm not feeling very good today. Got a cold. I'm gonna go to bed early. Someone just said here, just AB Esquire, remember to give Mario, Rudy, and Clive a like. Thank you. And Clive, anything you want to say to the viewers before we wrap up?
Yes, in your video a bit earlier, I described how to value gold companies or silver companies. If you look at my silver mining video, which I did on Saturday evening, on the screen I have a little spreadsheet. I explained to people in words of one syllable how to value silver companies, and I've actually done all the hard work at lots of different prices of silver, high, low, whatever you like, and you can see on the screen what gold mining companies or silver mining companies are the best companies to buy at different share prices.
Great, Clive. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being on the live stream and participating. And I wish you all a great, well, though a lot of people here are still on the extended weekend, Labor Day, I think in the US and Canada, and a great week for everyone else.
And I hope you feel better soon, Mario.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay. Okay, I've